All right.
I'm at 10.
Again, everybody, welcome to another BFM Breakdown. We're not gonna talk about anything specific today. Just BFM in general. We're gonna go turn by turn. I haven't re-reviewed this fight at all, so as we pause and talk about things, if you have questions, let it be known. And yeah, what's up? Push.
I have a
You already got
question. Is this a really small video because y'all forgot to record a long one?
No, this is a really small video because we've talked about, we've done 1.5 minute videos that had about 30-minute to 1 hour discussions before, which is absolutely fantastic. It means people are getting engaged and they're wanting to learn. What's up, Mansuk?
What's this about?
It's about dogfighting, right? So for some of you guys that are new here, what we're going to be doing, right, we got the video on the screen. I apologize for, the video quality. There's not really anything I can do about that. We'll try to point stuff out as we go. But as the video goes on, like turn by turn, choice by choice, we'll talk about like what we're seeing from the cockpit. The aim of this is to give you a first-person view of like, oh, hey, I'm in a dogfight. What should I look for? And it's like, oh, hey, when you see this, right? Like whenever I'm looking at a plane, like, I'm the one recording this. Whenever I'm looking at a plane and I'm seeing specific features of the plane, or I'm making decisions based off of what I see, it's like, oh, maybe I should look for those same things, right? So it not only helps us teach you guys, what BFM is and how you can utilize it, but it also gives you a visual aid of what you're going to be looking for or what it's going to look like, right? That makes sense? All right, any other questions before we get started here? No? Good? All right, cool. Well, let's get into the video.
Low height. Low height.
All right, come in here, into the merge. Very first turn, right, we establish a line of sight, right? For those of you who don't know, like line of sight, it's just looking at your opponent, right? Take the balls on your face, put it on their plane, don't take them off, right? As the saying goes, lose sight, lose the fight. BFM is, you reacting and acting at the same time. Like if you're the aggressor, you're going to be doing a whole lot of both because, you're trying to work for the gunshot, but at the same time, too, that other guy is doing stuff to try and mess you up, to give you problems to solve, right? And you have to react to those properly. And if you look away from him and he does something unexpected, then you can't really do much about it, right? So right off the bat in the first turn, right, I'll reverse this here for just a little bit. We come up, we nearly black out, right? Gets a little dark, we got plenty of energy. We're looking at our guy. Now right here, even though they're pretty far away, like you can see for the most part, like, or at least I'm seeing for the most part, the top of their plane, they've rolled over and gone more horizontal. It's like, okay, cool. We're in plane with them. Things are a little bit misaligned, right? There's a little bit of offset between us. And we've got a little bit of excess energy. So what can we do? Well, let's invest in the future here, right? Let's take some of our airspeed, convert it into altitude, because later on, that altitude can be converted into airspeed again. And as we come down, we can get into instantaneous. We can help build a position here, right? So they go vertical, they go horizontal. We're going to go a little bit more vertical. Eyes are still on them, right? Lift vector still on them, chasing their tail. And now we settle into our horizontal plane. Now, right here, a lot of people would argue, oh, hey, CD, they're right above, they're sitting right here, right on the screen. Like here, if I take these, it'll help make a bit more of an easier visual cue, right? So I'm here, my guy's way out here, right? He's looking a little something like this. It's like, oh, but CD, with all that energy you have, right, you could just pull in, you could shoot him, right? Well, I mean, you could, but what happens if you miss, right? A big mistake, at least like from what I've noticed in, people's dogfights, is they get really eager for the kill. What's up, Jack? You put your hand up. Unless it was just... You had a question? No? Okay. But yeah, no, they get really eager for the kill, which is great, it's good for aggression, but if you get into a prolonged fight, that can really, really mess you up, right? Because if that guy notices that I'm pulling in, and he pulls in, now, right, like instead of being out here where I can work into a rate and get a position where only I can shoot at him, later on, now he can shoot at me. And even though it started out winning that rate fight in the very beginning, he can redefine it into a one circle because now I've just given him the range, aspect, and closure issues that he needs to get a safe reversal, right? And we don't want to do that, right? So it is good to reduce your time to kill your bandit as fast as you can, but it's also important to build position first, because if you build position, that's assurance for later, right? Like, it's a lot easier if I'm in a fight where, you know, I'm sitting even somewhat remotely back here and go for a kill rather than this where it's neutral, right? This opens up options for this guy, and I don't want that because that means this guy can turn the fight around on me. Whereas, you know, if I'm sitting back here, not a whole lot he can do, right? I could shoot at him. I can put pressure on him. He can't shoot back at me because his nose is facing away. Right?
Real quick,
So
I had a
rather than go for
question
that kill,
from
yeah,
Nils Ace.
Nils, what's up?
Is it possible that I can fight against a low tier opponent instead of a high tier opponent like Energy Ace?
Oh,
My
brother,
skills-
like you got people of all skill sets here, right? Like, so
Yeah.
Almighty Push, he's been doing it for a while, little out of practice. Crypto, I'd say, you know, he's somewhere in the middle. He's still learning, but he's good. He's been practicing for a while. And then you got Energy, who, you know, has been practicing for a long time and does a lot of jacks. And then you got someone like Jack, who, you know, like he's newer to dogfighting, but he's really good. He's pretty fucking good at flying these planes and he's picking stuff up fast, right? Like you got people
Yeah.
from new to doing this for way too long, right?
Oh,
It'll be
yeah.
a mix of fights.
Yeah, you get mixed.
Okay.
It's all good.
Okay,
What's up,
I
Jack?
did it once a while.
It's all good.
I did dogfighting once a while.
That's okay.
Once
That's
a
okay.
while, but then I stopped.
No,
I
that's
mean,
all right. Jack, you had a question?
So like I know like at high aspect, right? I fought against you. Even if you don't go in for the kill, is there like a point where you pull too much lead?
Yes, believe it or not. So, Art of the Kill, I'm going to steal this directly from Art of the Kill because it's a great lesson that they teach about, you know, your attack window entries, right? Is if we're here, you know, we're in this turn with each other and we're both pulling and we're both pulling and we're both pulling, right? We just pull into our turns. It's like, oh no, you know, now I'm out front, or, you know, you just pull enough to where it's like, oh, we're sitting still or whatever, right? When you're in high aspect, what I like to do is take that lesson that they were talking about, right? He talks about waiting for your opponent to get to the point where they're crossing your line of sight, right? Establishing that line of sight again. So if I try to draw this out, like let's say this is my canopy bow, whatever. I'm in a turn and I'm at high aspect, but my opponent, for the most part, right? He's sitting like right here or whatever, right? That's where he's at in my canopy. And then all of a sudden, he starts rushing towards the back of it, right? That's where you can see your offset, like, oh, we're here, he's steady, and then, whoosh, right, he goes flying past us. Good point of a good rule of thumb. If you're already in that rate with him, you're at high aspect, ease up a little bit, right? Stay within your rate band, get to like your top margin, and then as soon as you see him, right, start to cross your line of sight, as soon as he goes from here, he starts moving upwards towards the rear of your canopy, start pulling in. Right, that's tightening your circle down. Right here, where's my other marker? There it is. Right, we'll draw this out. Right, here's one circle. Here's another one. You know, and we're both maybe right here. Right, here we are. We got our guy out front. You know, ever so slightly, he's sitting there, and we get to about like 1, 2, 3. Right now, we're right here. 1, 2, 3. And he's right here. Somewhere right in between here. This is where we start seeing him move back in our canopy. If we tighten down our circle right there, right? Or we start right here, tighten down our radius, right? We can move the center of our circle towards theirs. And because like if we extend out right here, that's also going to help us move the center of our circle over here because we're extending right here. We're bleeding up here. That's going to give us a little bit of extra energy to work with. You can bleed down to your sustained rate, right? So through this turn, it's like, oh, my sustained rate is 350, right? And I extended to 400. Oh, shit, I'm out here drawing numbers backwards for you guys. I apologize. let me get on the right side
That's
of this.
okay. I understand.
Yeah, no, let me get on the correct side of this, right? So like we start at like 400 knots or whatever. We extended right there. Here's our turn. We just extended away. Now when we get to this point where we want to bleed, right? You can go from 400 to 350. All right, so like right here, I'll just draw this backwards. Oh yeah, right here, 350. Throughout this entire turn, I've just bled in a bunch of instantaneous, so now I'm getting more rate than what my sustained rate is, and I'm settling in at my sustained rate. So it's like, oh, I'm getting a really fast turn right here, and then going into my fastest possible turn, sustained, right? And because I'm moving this over here, I'm widening out the range between our two turn circles. I'm aligning our circles, and I'm helping myself build position over the course of a couple of turns, right? Like in those fights we were in VFM, that's exactly what I was doing. I would see you out front, right? Right? We'd be like this. You know, you'd be like way out here and be turning in. I could see you out front. And then, yeah, like I'd keep you on the canopy bow. And then once we got to right about here, where you're going to start crossing my line of sight rapidly, then I'm going to start my pull, right? I'm pulling in towards your tail and going for my sustained rate. That's what I'm trying to end at, right? Again, there's a good description of it in Art of the Kill video. You know, he describes it a lot better than I do, and also probably provides a way better visual aid, but that guy gets paid to do this stuff and also has been doing it forever for a job. Does that make sense? And then, Angon, it looked like you raised your hand. You got a question?
What do I do when someone gets behind me? Because
Okay.
Defensive. Can I forgot
Because-
defensive
should
deal?
I
Okay, yeah, no, you take it
slowing
away.
down?
Yeah.
You take it away.
Benjamin.
Here.
You
take it.
Should I
Anyway,
slow down to force an
uh,
overshoot? Should I do something else?
Okay.
Let's talk
Situation.
about. Listen to
There's three rules that you must. There's three things I should say. That you must do
There's
to kill
free
someone.
things. Sorry.
Yes, three. What are the three things you have to do
No, you
to
didn't
shoot
get the
someone
joke.
down? Okay, I don't. Three
Well, I'd
things.
say
It's
not
the
necessarily
three
not
things
necessarily the
of
three
the
things
Ah.
you need to do, but the three parameters you need to meet.
Yes.
Or you
Well,
need to
like three. What do you think are the three parameters you need to have to shoot someone? Yes.
You need
Yes.
to
You don't have to raise your
have.
hand.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure, given my knowledge, that
Okay.
I'm very not remembering of. You need to be
Okay.
within a weapons envelope of him.
Okay. Range.
You need to
Di-
be.
different-
Was it what?
No,
Different
you're
word?
good. You,
Oh,
you,
range. Yeah.
different word, but
Range.
you do have it
Yeah,
right.
like range, and then you
Range.
gotta have obviously. Well, I mean, this isn't one of them, but you have to have ammo. You know what I mean? I'm joking. It's not
Okay.
yeah. I don't really remember
That
his
one's kind of a
range,
given.
but
Okay.
No.
but
What do
you're
you have
wrong.
to? How does one get their nose onto the plane in front of them?
you
You know,
have.
what's it called? You know?
Aspect.
What? No.
Well, it affects
Um,
aspect.
Do you have
It
to
does, it
have
does.
like? Oh, you have to
There's a
have like some
parameter
sort.
that you have
Oh,
to
you're talking about
follow.
lead?
Yes,
Lead.
I'm talking about lead.
There it is.
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't think that was one of the parameters.
Lead.
Oh, I'm not
Range,
And
asking
then-
about
lead,
how to
and-
not get shot at.
Oh
I'm
gosh, I
asking
got it.
about
What
how
other
to get
thing?
out of
Where-
that situation.
Where
know,
do you need
this
to
is what we're-
be to?
this is
Where
what we're
do you
getting
need to be to win the dogfight? You know, if you're winning the dogfight, where are
Behind
you?
them.
Yes. What is it called? What else can you say? You know, you're in there.
You're
know,
in there.
yeah,
Oh gosh, I know what it is. I know what it is. Hold on.
Yeah.
Dude,
Flip. Why can't I remember?
Well, here, think about it. If me
Like,
and
I
this
know what it is, I
guy
don't
are in the
remember the
same
term,
turn
though.
circle, right, and our lift vectors and our direction are the same, we are in
Something
what
about
with each other?
controlling?
We're in
You're
what
in
with
a-
each
You're in
other?
you're in a rape fight.
I mean, yeah, we're in a
Yeah,
rape
but
fight,
what's
but
it
that's not what I
called?
mean.
They're in the
What is
same-
something of motion?
Yes.
Oh, the same
What-
plane of
what-
motion.
what-
The plane of
Yes, there you
motion.
I did it.
Plane of motion.
Finally! Ah, finally!
Behind.
I
and-
did it.
Okay. So
Finally.
if this is
That took a
okay,
while,
so
huh?
if this is the three things I need to shoot you down, what do you think you need to do when in a defensive situation? What is your goal when you're defending against someone? If their goal is to try and reach these three parameters, what do you think you have to do to like stop them? You know, from shooting
No.
you. If they need to do these things to shoot you,
I'd say breaking lead would be probably the easiest.
I crossed out the wrong one, but
yes,
An attempt was made.
You know what's funny though, Ben?
an attempt is made. Yes.
When you connected range, lead, and bomb, it made a 3, or POM, whatever the heck those two things are. It made
Yeah.
a 3.
plane of motion.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was the whole point.
Yeah, the three things
It's the
made
three
a 3.
things. Okay. If
Yeah.
I need these three things to get an effective gun solution on you, because obviously there's high aspect gunshots and all that jazz. If I need these three things to get an effective gun solution, what
You
can you
try to-
do? What are you going to try and do?
you're gonna try and remove one of them at minimum, or if you
Yes,
can't
remove at least
two
one
of
of
them.
these things. Okay.
So like
You know
if
they're
they're
in.
like,
Okay, go on.
sorry,
Go.
if they're
Go,
like
no, go.
coming around on you, right? And then at some point they get really close, but they almost overshoot. You can go show in reverse.
Yes. Yes.
And then you'll get rid of
So if
their
they're
playing emotion. I think that's
Yeah.
the one it gets rid of,
So
right? Yeah.
that's where if someone's behind you, let's say the red guy's behind you, and they're in the same plane of motion, it's very easy for them to shoot you. That's where maneuvering out of plane comes. Generate offset. If they're here now, it's harder for them to shoot you. Then they pull in. You stay out of plane. That'll either be like vertical offset or horizontal offset. And
Or
then
both.
if you can either increase or reduce range, let's say you're in a rolling scissors and they're behind you, but you have more energy, so you can widen that roller into a rate fight. You've increased the range, and now
Ooh, I love
you're
rate
neutral.
fights. Those are my
Or
favorite
if
ones.
you're in a roller and they're behind you, and they have the ability, that you're within the WES, the weapons envelope or whatever, within that MAR for like a missile or a gunshot. If you get closer and closer and closer, they don't have that room to shoot you, and now you're neutral. That's basically it. And they can't pull lead. If you can deny them one of these three things, plane of motion, lead, or range, then that's defensive BFM. You're just thinking, what can I deny them? What can I take away from them? Are they slow? Can I outrun their nose? Are they with lead as well? If they're too slow and you can outrun their nose because they're pulling too much lead, they're pulling lead and you outrun their nose, then great. Same with plane of motion, So that's kind of like the goal of defensive BFM. It's very simple,
Yeah.
but also very hard.
the-
But this is the best way of just explaining it.
Yeah.
Go on,
And
Johnny.
I was gonna say,
Yo,
and
I'm
that's
excited about
why are your
defensive
dogs
BFM.
out?
and I was gonna say, and that's kind of the tools you use to survive, basically, right? Unfortunately, a lot of people they like. I see this commonly. They're like, what's this one move that I can use to get out of that situation? Realistically, if the guy behind you is flying his best BFM and makes no mistakes, and you fly your best BFM and make no mistakes, you're not getting out of that position.
Oh yes.
Unfortunately,
We're just gonna add
Easiest
like
that's
way
also
play,
important to
don't let
remember.
him
You're
get
you're
behind
trying
ya.
to use this to survive, to give him more problems, to give him more time to make
Yeah.
mistakes. If he makes a mistake, you need to capitalize on it. Sorry, I just wanted to add that in there.
No.
There
Like
you go.
there's no
There you
magic
go.
maneuver that's gonna save you.
Yeah.
Honestly, Honestly,
There you go.
the best way to not be defensive or defend against somebody shooting you is to not be defensive in the first place. Get offensive, stay offensive, or at the
True
very
that.
least,
But then-
or at the very least, neutralize the fight.
The
Yeah.
best defense is great offense.
With dog
Other
fighting,
way around, but yes.
Oh, my bad.
Other way
A
around,
good
yes, but
defense
yeah.
is a good offense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because,
I like
you
defensive
you wouldn't
BFM.
Oh, I
believe
know,
like how many people in a
dang
public
it.
lobby would be like, oh, like that think the same way. They're like, oh, like they're in a Sukhoi and like I'm in a 14 and they're like, oh, this guy's behind me. I'm gonna sit here and do the yoinky sploinky to make him overshoot. And like you sit here like this and they come up like this and all you do is just slam on the brakes and park behind them pretty much. Right as they're doing this, and you just hit them with the old, oh, that's a neat trick. Thanks for sitting still for me, dude. Like you gave me a huge outline to shoot at, and now you're just sitting still as well. Like it's a big, not moving.
And
target,
that's why
you know?
Top Gun Maverick
Nice.
has the stupidest maneuver in the
Are you
world.
saying sorry?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
dude,
Are you
okay.
saying sorry?
Good point. Let's talk about
I
that.
feel
In the
like that.
movie, you see
I feel
F-14
that's
here.
why.
Su-57 is like this, and you see him go,
Yeah.
right? And go, realistically, if this dude's out here, cartwheeling around or pinwheeling around, you know what
Yeah.
that 14 pilot's going to do? He's just going to inch his nose over, and boot and scoot.
Yeah.
He's out. He's going to load that thing full of 20 mil, and then he's just going to fly away and laugh, be like,
Exact-
"Thanks, dude.
And,
You made my life
it's
easy."
not like the crazy thing
Or,
is that
you know,
you see like, holy shit, what
or
the hell
he
was that?
gets
By the
into an
time he even
overshoot
said
and he
holy
just goes
shit out of his
around.
mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
They would've been
or
blasted
that,
with
right? Like,
bullets.
oh, he did same scenario. It's like, oh, this guy just did this, and I went flying by him. Well, now he's slow. You know what I'm gonna do? Because now that guy's just sitting here, and odds are he comes back over here. Now,
It
like,
feels
I'm
a
just
lot less
reset.
serious when we're playing.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like,
pulling
oh, hey,
airplanes.
did I just overshot him? But he's super slow. Let's just take a lap. They're already slow. I can go up. And if they try to go up, they're going to
Yeah.
stay slow. So I'm just going to outrun them. You know what I mean? Energy versus
Oh.
nose. But it's like, oh, he has his nose on me, but I'm so fast. Just like Ben said, I'm going to outrun that
Maybe
nose
not
and just
versus
continue around my
a
circle.
felon. Maybe
I mean,
not
again,
versus
dude,
thrust
when
vectoring.
you like, I mean, thrust vectoring's a gimmick. Like, the thing is a giant air brake. Like, yeah, I can get my engines to push me this way, but as soon as like I'm no longer moving, that's it. Like, especially if you're trying to go
R73s
up.
scare me.
Yeah, true.
Little
But again,
bastards.
that's a made-up scenario where it was a 14 who was completely offensive, starting on a felon who did this number. Like, that right there, that's a death wish. You get that image, you should kill that guy every single time. Because he just gave you a huge silhouette that's no longer moving.
I wanted to make a joke, but it's too dark.
Nah, it's all right.
Okay.
But does that answer your question?
Various things.
Good. Okay. Sonny, I saw you had your
kind of
hand up.
lost the defensive BFM question.
Usually it is a good strat only if your opponent is really close and you can stop your aircraft on the dime. And
Can I
when-
make
I
a
mean,
bad
if
joke
this,
to
if
you,
this, I mean, if this
CDRM?
guy's also trying to slow down and you get him to overshoot, and it's like, oh, he starts slow, then yeah, go for it. But if he's fast and he continues to stay fast, you're screwed because now you're stationary. You're not moving.
Especially
I'm
in
not
this
saying
symmetric
I'm not saying
scenario.
like go straight up. I might like keeping with your opponent, not like go straight up. Like if he slows down, you slow down, and it's basically a
Yeah, but
mutual
that's
fight.
different
Whoever
from,
like
just
pulls
bleeding
out
out your
and
air
stall
speed,
first.
That's just like a
Something like
rolling
that.
scissors then at that point, or a flat scissors. That's completely different from just, we will,
We will.
you know.
But anyway,
Yeah,
we'll continue on, right? So we got our guy out here, not pulling in yet, right? We're not going to commit to that. We're high aspect, but for the most part, winning. We got him out front, right? Let's work the rate. As soon as he starts crossing our line of sight, nah, not yet. As soon as he crosses our line of sight, we're pulling in, right? He's moving towards the back of our aircraft. We can start visualizing the offset between us. Right here, we're just holding rate. Okay. Another example, we could pull in to try and go for it, but if we do that, it's going to increase aspect. It's going to increase closure, decrease range. This guy could hit a reverse on us, whatever, right? We are winning the fight right now. Why would we want to give that up? The answer is you never would, right? What's the best way to, not get shot is to get what? We just talked about it.
Offensive.
Get offensive and then stay offensive. Get offensive, stay offensive. If you're offensive and that guy's going to stay defensive, then he can't really threaten you with any of his weapons, can he? Right?
Well, you can threaten him
Let's
with
just
your
follow on
weapons, though,
BFM.
because you're
Yippee,
offensive.
yippee.
Yeah, no, exactly. We're working for position, not
follow
for the
on
kill.
BFM.
You get position, you will get the kill. The position ensures, though, that this other guy, even if you make a mistake, like they still have to work to try to get a kill on you. So continue to develop that position. Just hold them in the rate. They cross over. Okay, cool. Now they've decided, oh, we're gonna try to redefine the fight here, right? You just saw that, like, crossed in close enough. Like, we saw them crossing our line of sight. We're bleeding in, and so they decided, oh, here's a good spot to try to redefine the fight, right? Not bad, not the best. So what do we do? Like, we already pulled in, right? We just saw them try to redefine the fight. Oh, now they're going into a one circle where we started offensive, right? We were already in a positional advantage. We were already bleeding our airspeed. We were already taking advantage of instantaneous rate. So what do you think you should do in this situation, right? Your opponent just tried to redefine the fight on you, right? Just like we talked about before. You crossed like this, you pulled in, and they're coming up trying to flip you over into a one circle, right? What do you think you should do? You can hold on to your speed. You could do what?
I'm gonna go. Okay.
Just keep pulling into them.
Have a nice
It's like I already bled my speed for match it. Like he's yanking in, I'm yanking in. Like worst case scenario, it's neutral, right? So they go up, you go up with them.
Okay.
But we had a bit of a lead turn. Bada bing, bada bam, bada
Yeah,
boom.
he's dead.
Sure.
Oh,
Right?
gosh.
It's like, hey, yeah, no, it's like, hey, cool. Yes, they have the parameters for that redefinition made, right? They had enough, they had a close enough range, high enough aspect. They could do that. but we're already bleeding in. We're gaining instantaneous, continue to push, our position further and further behind them. And because we're already bleeding in and they're decided to, flip over into a one circle, it's like, oh, cool. I'll just continue my pull then to tighten down my radius. Now I don't need to worry about my rate. They help me out there. Does that make sense to everybody? Questions before we go into the next one?
Can you look back a little bit? I think it was on the second pass.
Second pass?
Yeah. We were above him slightly, I think.
I joined really
Oh.
late.
Okay. Yep, I got you. Hold on. We'll go over it again.
I don't know who said that.
Okay. Like, I think it was right here.
But I can't really see where he is. Can you play it through? So
Okay,
you guys
what-
where I was?
He's like center
We'll-
screen.
Yeah, we'll start from the beginning here.
Yeah.
Low height.
All right, it's coming in. Go into the merge. Get a line of sight of our guy. Okay, cool. They're transitioning horizontal. Lift vector behind them. We got a little bit of extra energy. Put it into a climb. Still in lag pursuit. Going for the 2. Plenty of energy coming down. A little bit of a bleed. Got him on the front of our. Got him towards the front of our canopy. Now we make a choice. Do we hold our rate? Do we go for lag, or do we pull in?
Did he
Was there?
offset the circle the moment he went vertical with you? It looks like he did.
They might have. Like honestly,
can-
me going vertical offset it a bit more, but
To me, it looks like he literally disappeared.
It looks
All I
like
can see is
he-
the reflection in the
can't
sun in
see
the
him.
water.
The quality.
He's
of
out there.
Looks
it
like when he
is
flew past you,
pretty
he
He's
went
like-
off
he's
the
like- he's
stick
right
almost
here.
entirely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can see
yeah,
it
no,
now.
I apologize.
plane-
It's a media player thing. We'll have to swap
Yeah,
this out
working
in
on
the
it.
future. But was there a question like associated with it,
Yeah.
Jack?
Yeah. If I can play it through really quick, I want to show you.
Yeah, go for it. Go
Right.
for it.
Is it?
Oh.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, no,
here.
it was just a paused moment right
Yeah,
there.
he's flying like past you, right? But why wouldn't
Yep.
you want to pull lead and kind of like something like this? Like if you're above him, why wouldn't you want to kind of like go up a little bit and then follow down into him? Because
Okay, well, I mean-
you hold your rate kind of and just like go through while he's also turning. But I noticed like kind of like if we were in the same situation, I'd kind of follow where he was and then pull pretty hard in.
Okay, yeah, no. Valid question. Valid question, right? So, like, this guy's down here, and I'm up here, right? Like, there's a little bit of offset between us. It's looking something like this. That's why they're so far back in the canopy, right? You could come up and pull down, right? But if I do that extension, right, like we're more or less in the same spot in our turn circle, right? We're right across from one another. We're not necessarily offensive, but we're not necessarily defensive yet, right? If we take this chance to like come up and do a little extension, right, and this guy holds his rate, like we're pretty much giving away free turning room if this guy just holds it, right? He's getting around the further side of his circle faster than we are and can give up position on the next turn. Right. So like right here, I mean, this is just like what I like to do. Right. I'm not saying it's the right answer. I'm just saying that it's had successful results. Is just holding your rate. Right. Like, and he's already down here. Right. So I'll get around my circle first until we're far apart and I can get him on the front of the canopy bow. Then maybe like as things get more stable, I'll come down. Right. And pull in, work some instantaneous, but again, not pulling past my sustained turn rate. And just hold them on the canopy bow, right? Like I'm looking to stabilize my position throughout the fight, reduce their options, expand my own. Because like right here, yeah, you could pull in, but now all that speed and all that position that I just worked for is gone. I'm basically redefining the fight when I'm already in an even slightly offensive position. And even though we're in jets here, right? Because he's lower in altitude, and like I'm holding on to my speed and I'm up here, I'm at an energy advantage right now, and I don't want to give that up, at least not yet. Like I want to work that advantage into an even more offensive position later on down the line if I can. And later, is relative. It could be 2 seconds or it could be a whole minute. It could be an hour if you have enough fuel for it, but I want to use it for later, right? Working follow on BFM while also fighting in the present. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Nils.
When does the tournament start?
I mean, there's no tournament, but it'll be as soon as we're done here. Don't worry, it's not going to be too long.
Okay, fortunately, I was soon was going to start on my practice.
Yeah, no, don't worry. We'll start it here soon. It's not going to be
Okay,
long,
got it.
but we'll continue through this, right? Holding our rate, coming down finally, like they're on the far side of the circle. Now I've got that energy, right? Since they're on the far side, maybe they hold rate, maybe they extend, but because I have the energy for it, I can do instantaneous, get around the far side even faster, and then go into our sustained rate. They go to redefine. Well, I'm already pulling in here, so we'll just commit at this point. Yank in, lead. Fun, happy days. Now, next fight, right? Good example of, working defensively, at least from a slightly defensive position into a neutral and even offensive position, right? Kind of the same setup from the first fight. So we go into the merge. Do it pretty similar, right? We take a little bit more of a horizontal plane this time. Still got eyes on them, right? We're not quite pulling in yet. We're going to let them pass over first. You see them right there. We got plenty of range. Maybe right here we'll start pulling in because they're crossing our line of sight. We got plenty of altitude and they're coming down. So I know I can convert my altitude into airspeed. Right around here, they're recognizing that. So, they're going to start pulling in ever so slightly. Right? We got them right off of the nose. Right here. Same thing. We've got 3 options. You can either pull for the gunshot. You could go to lag and try to work your position, or you can go to peer. Just fly at them, right, if you're uncertain. Now, given how high aspect they are, it's like, oh, shit, they're about to threaten me with the nose, right? Like, they saw me coming down on that last turn, so now they're pulling in. It's like, well, screw it. I'll pull in too then, right? Like, if we can at least stay neutral, it's better than being defensive. And it looks like they kind of extended out. They bailed out of that. It's like, oh shit, okay, yeah, I went to go pull the nose, but theirs is going to beat me about a second later, So extend away, run away from the nose, right? They denied me the what? They denied me something. What are those 3 things we need to shoot somebody with the gun with again? Ben talked about them. Lead,
range, and plane of motion.
and in plane of motion. What did he just take away from me? He outran my nose, so I didn't have enough what?
Lead.
I didn't have enough lead. Also, average, I saw you with your hand up. You got a question?
What happens while, he's pulling up, and what happens if you lose too much energy and start to stall?
Oh, if I start to stall, then that guy, if that guy's paying attention to what I'm doing, right, he's keeping his line of sight on me, he's going to see me suddenly go still, and he's just going to go to lag pursuit, stay in the rate, rip around it, and come shoot me. Because if I've got no energy, I can't maneuver, and if I can't maneuver, I can't react to the guy. Like, being stagnant in a dogfight is one of the worst things you could do, especially if the other guy is, faster than you, or God forbid you're in a prop plane, right, and you go stagnant, and the guy is higher and faster, because at that point, it's a total uphill battle. All this dude is going to do is dive down on you, shoot, go back up because you can't follow him back up, and then as soon as he sees you try to level out or dive for energy, he's just going to dive back down on you again. Answer the question. Oh, okay. Anybody else before we continue? All right, cool. So they denied me lead, right? We were at pretty high aspect. So if we were at high aspect, what could you assume about the range between our circles? Is it going to be far? No? What about close?
Not really. Close.
Perhaps.
Pretty fucking close, right? And he just saw that I had my nose on ever so slightly, so it's like, oh shoot, okay, still fairly neutral, but they're getting offensive on me. What can I do here? Well, we have low range, high aspect, and high rate of closure. If not that turn, in the next one we'll redefine, right? So they pull in, we're pulling in with them. Again, another high aspect to pass. Reverse the turn, and now we're in the 1. This is exactly what that defensive aircraft should be doing. They recognize, when we were further apart, oh shit, I'm getting defensive. The fight that I'm in isn't working. We need to change this up, right? And they know they can't do it on the next turn, on that first turn, right? Because I was about to shoot them, so they outran the nose, pulled in, right? Kept that range and closure, range low, closure and aspect high. And on that second turn, right, they set it up enough to where they could now reverse the turn. And now look, head to head, right? Not necessarily, not preferable. You'd rather be completely offensive on the guy, But while I'm shooting at them, they're shooting back at me, and that's way better than being defensive, and also worked out for them. Right? I died on that. They got me. They went from defensive to winning the fight in 2 turns. That's all it takes. Arguably 1 turn. Because early on they recognized, okay, I've got this high closure, high aspect. They're about to pull lead on me, so I can't get them in this one yet. I gotta, again, defeat the gun. I gotta defeat their lead, their plane of motion, or their range. Okay, I can't get rid of plane of motion. We're already there. I'm already in range, so I gotta outrun their nose. I gotta take away lead. And on the next turn, I'll commit to it. Make sense?